Jesus wants to teach, so I'm going to teach with Jesus. Come divine will, come speaking my speaking, come breathing my breathing, come thinking my thinking. I'm terribly sorry, I'm blocking out Luisa there, but at least you've got the Lord, so Jesus is there. That's a good thing, right? I'll see if I can get the picture of Luisa in the scene for the next one. Anyway, here we go. This is volume 25, second video. So, a prolonged sacrifice has the virtue and strength to obtain great things from God. Now, this is, once again, Jesus' incredible wisdom speaking to us again. He says often, it's not good enough for us to just do one act. It's not good just for us to do one act of virtue, one act of the divine will, etc. Things have to be stacked up. So, prolonged sacrifice, where it becomes a way of life. Our Lady of Medjugorje fast on Wednesdays and Fridays, and doesn't mean fast on bread and water. That's for many people, but she also talked about in the earlier days about other types of fast. So a consistent fast. This is why big fasts sometimes don't work in terms of making a big sacrifice. Sometimes just giving up something small for a prolonged period of time is very beneficial because it's something, number one, that we can achieve. Therefore, it's within our range, as it were. And number two, there's a certain humility involved in doing it because we're recognizing that actually I can't do bread and water for 40 days. I can just about not have my evening glass of whiskey for 40 days, And if you like me, even that's going to be a struggle. So, prolonged sacrifice has the virtue and strength to obtain great things from God. So, you do a prolonged sacrifice, that enables you to obtain great things from God. I myself, during my life down here, this is Jesus speaking to Luisa, wanted to remain in the desert for 40 days, just as Luisa had 40 years, Israel had 40 years, Jesus has 40 days. Away from all, even from my mama, to then go out in public to announce the gospel, which was to form the life of my church. That is the kingdom of redemption. Note, kingdom of redemption, we're now in the kingdom of the divine will. Era of redemption, we're now in the era of the divine will. Just note these nuances. For 40 days, I wanted to remain as hidden to confirm my resurrection. So he has 40 days before his public ministry, after his baptism, before he goes out in public, and then he has another 40 days after the resurrection, before the ascension. And the 40 days he remained as hidden, as risen, to confirm my resurrection, and to place the seal upon all the goods of redemption. So those people he appeared to in those 40 days between his resurrection and the ascension, he placed in them the goods of the redemption. No awkward questions about the goods of redemption, please. Read some scripture, read some theology, and find out. Dig your well, right? So I wanted for you, my daughter, in order to manifest the kingdom of my divine will, I wanted 40 years of sacrifices. So the 40 years that Luisa spent exiled, as it were, from the Blessed Sacrament, were for in order to manifest the kingdom of the divine will. I wanted 40 years of sacrifices, but how many graces have I not given you? How many manifestations? I can say that in this great length of time, I placed in you all the capital of the kingdom of my will, and everything that is necessary in order to make creatures comprehend it. So your long imprisonment has been the continual weapon, always in the act of fighting with your very Creator to have you manifest my kingdom. Think carefully of how Jesus exiles us in different ways or imprisons us in different ways in order to establish his kingdom. I know that when I came into the divine will in a particular way 7 years ago, he had me, I broke my rib cage, and I couldn't do any ministry for a period of time. And it was in that time that I knew God was leading us on a different path. That's what led us to actually sell our house and move here to the area of Walsingham. I always view things like that as, okay, Jesus, this is a cross. This is going to produce good, always. And my children are great with this. They also tell me, Dad, this is from the Lord, and he's doing a work. Okay, so do not see what you think is a hindrance as being a hindrance. Repeat, repeat, repeat. The hindrances are not a hindrance. These are God's weapons to form his kingdom in your soul. Okay. I'll stop there. I'll carry on in a minute or in 24 hours. Fiat voluntas tua.